when Katrina hit, I had been out. My brother dragged me to Las Vegas for a weekend.
While Katrina was hitting.
Well, I was in California, and we went to Vegas before Katrina.
Yeah.
We got there on August 27th or something.
Okay.
And had a weekend, and then when we came back, I turned on the TV, and this was before cell phones and internet.
Yeah.
And I was not on Facebook, and I wasn't engaging with my peers in that way.
Yeah.
So, I turned on CNN and saw what was happening, and I reflexively just called the Red Cross to make a donation. That's something that, was kind of a habit after 9/11 or the Southeast Asia tsunami or whatever. And so when I was on the phone with the operator, I asked her how I could do what she was doing, and she signed me up for a volunteer shift. And that kind of, so I volunteered the next day, and then every day, 7 days a week until the Red Cross sent me here to New Orleans. So that's how, in my journey, that was my catalyst. Even though it doesn't have anything to do with Uncommon or what it is now, it kind of got me on this path, right?
How old are you when you wind up in New Orleans?
I was 21. I was a fresh-faced 21-year-old young buck.
What are you here to do? Because it's
when I was
2005.
In New Orleans, yeah.
This is right after Katrina.
Yeah, so I volunteered for the Red Cross from a couple days after the storm in California, and when I was there, I was doing client casework, and so people. We had over 2,000 something people come through the Red Cross in San Diego.
Wow.
And
who had left New Orleans?
Yeah, some of them just got on a bus that got on I-10 and kept going as far as it could go.
Till they hit the ocean.
Till they hit the ocean. And
wow.
Then they maybe had a military connection to San Diego, or they had family there. There was one super wealthy guy, I forget his name, who put a bunch of people on an airplane and flew them to San Diego and put them up in a hotel for a month.
Wow.
But after that month, those people need jobs.
You're in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, and so, even a month after the storm, end of September, people are coming in, and so I was the guy who, after that journey, they would end up in front of me. And my first shift as a volunteer with the Red Cross is maybe a good example of this.
Okay.
So I was kind of I walked in, like I said, I'd been an intern before, so they had me doing any number of menial tasks. Sit at this computer and answer the phone because we don't have time to check voicemail. Empty the trash. Make sure the people who know how to do their jobs are eating lunch. Right? Those are things that I got assigned to do. And when it was time for me to leave, I was all right, this was cool. I helped out. Maybe I'll come back sometime. Seems like you can just kind of show up. And somebody came up to me at the end of the day and was like, oh, good, you're still here. Now, whether she was actually thinking about me or not, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But it made me feel okay, yeah, I am still here. And she gave me a 30-second, you're good, man. They gave me a 30-second download on how the Red Cross pays for hotels when people are displaced by a disaster.
Sure.
So they gave me the vocabulary words, and that was it. So I just started, then gave me a list of people, and they were like, so do you think you can do that? And I was like, yeah. I was just leaving, but I'll get on it tomorrow. Or I was ready to say that, and before I could, she said, good, because they're in the lobby right now and they need a place to sleep tonight. So that for me was kind of also this it was just an aha of the things, what you think is immediate, or what the prism that I was seeing things through. Things were on a different axis.
It couldn't start tomorrow. It started now.
Right. And it started yesterday. It started 3 weeks ago for these people, and they're finally here feeling a sense of relief, and you're the one, I'm too busy, and you're the one who's got to get them a place to sleep. So I did that. That was, pretty hard after that to not come back the next day. So then the Red Cross sent me here, and when I was here, I did. So that was casework, was getting people places to sleep, filling prescriptions, giving them prepaid credit cards, stuff like that. And then there was... when I got here to New Orleans, I was in bulk distribution, which was out in the neighborhoods in the community. And this was early November 2005. So, the water had receded, but that's about as far as we got.
That's as raw as the city ever was.
Yeah, I mean, it was jarring for me. For sure. And, there's some places that still look the same.
What were you seeing at the time? What stood out to you? Because Had you been to New Orleans before? Did you
No.
have a frame of reference? To you,
I'd
New
never
Orleans
been
is
here.
an idea. And
Yeah,
then
there was, like,
you dropped down and...
One of my brother's friends went to college at Tulane,
Mhm.
and he'd been here for Mardi Gras and told some funny stories about it.
Sure.
And I read Confederacy of Dunces.
That was it.
That was it.
Intro to New Orleans.
Yeah, Intro to New Orleans. And so, and what I learned in the news cycle that followed Katrina
Sure.
and through my experience with the Red Cross and from talking to people. So we lived in Laplace. We had a warehouse in Reserve. And we'd come in and out of the city to different places, to set up distribution sites and stuff. And I wasn't good at it. There are definitely, I was 21, not a ton of experience, but the fact that I was doing it meant that like I was the one qualified to keep doing it. So
Exactly.
I extended my trip, and I was here for, a 3-week deployment to New Orleans turned into several months. Then I left, and through that I learned about AmeriCorps. So I did a year of service in AmeriCorps, the National Civilian Community Corps, where you like travel around the country.
In New Orleans?
So that one is you travel around from one place to another on a team of like 8 to 10 people, and you work on different projects. Now at that time, all of the projects were here or Mississippi.
Because the need was so high.
Yeah, because it was, everybody was just here. It was like, if AmeriCorps ever proved its worth, it was after Katrina. I mean, like, this city and region in large part was cleaned up and rebuilt by people in gray shirts and khaki pants. And you hear that a lot from people, and that's the AmeriCorps uniform. But AmeriCorps didn't start for a little while, so I had some time to kill. So I worked and traveled and volunteered, and that's when I got my first job in construction as the least skilled worker at a day labor company. And I fell in love with how rigorous it was, and it was I said Davis was the furthest place from my parents' house, but like a construction site in Reno, Nevada, living in a hotel behind a strip club and working out of a day labor company, that's pretty far from where I grew up.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was awesome. And that was around the time when my friends were graduating from college. So I loved how just because you're working with your hands doesn't mean you're not also working with your head. And it was really, really awesome to get exposure to that kind of thing.